It's about to go down.
Burning your ears with another all-killer and no-filler episode of the best motorsports radio on the planet. It's the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. With your host, Jim Beaver.
Sliding trophy trucks, jumping razors, and dropping the mic at events across the country.
Amy Hood.
What's up, guys? I'm a professional fun haver, dirt bike rider, and monster truck driver.
With support from Polaris Razor, General Tire, Subaru, and Dirtfish. Hang on tight, strap in, and get ready to smoke some tires and lay some roost. Here's the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other. Jim Beaver.
All right. I feel like we should have had a bit of Christmas music today, but we don't. I don't know. I slacked off on that. It was totally my fault. Figured we should have had some kind of Christmas music to open this thing instead of a regular intro, but we will have a new fresh intro to start the new year. That is right. This is our last show of 2018. We're doing it up Christmas style today, and it's going to be a fun one. A lot of bench racing going on. We're going to kind of recap on 2018. My good friend Chris Leone is going to call in. We're going to, we're just going to talk about kind of some of the surprises of 2018 and what to expect out of 2019. Bench race on 2019. This is the ideal show. If you got fan questions, seriously, hit me up. It is at JimBeaver15. I can promise you today, if you do that on Twitter, we will answer your question on the show. And I'm even going to throw out there, I don't care what the question is, I will answer it. Fun ones, funny ones, stupid ones, whatever. Hit me up. We will get it on the show today. So, yes, it is a Christmas edition. Not only that, I've got my good friend Joe Duncan with Snowbike Cross and X Games. He's going to call in to cap off the show. We're going to talk about the big Snowbike Cross week. Tongue-tied today. Definitely not coming out swinging and firing on all 8 cylinders like I should be. Going to talk about the big event this past weekend, talk about snow bikes at X Games, some of the riders that got qualified in. I was out there in Minnesota. I'll talk on that a bit as well, but should be a lot of fun with Joe Duncan. In addition to that, we got some big breaking news out of the world of motorsports this past week, kind of heading into the new year. We're going to talk about those storylines, and then we are also going to do a live watch on a little video called Gymkhana 10. That is right. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to give you my first impressions. I'm going to watch it live on the show. So that and more to come today on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Whether you're looking for a tire that balances high performance responsiveness and traction in wet and light snow conditions, excellent handling and traction in wet and dry conditions, or a summer performance tire designed with the driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has you covered. From the all-new G-Max RS to the Grabber ATX, no matter what you drive, General Tire will get you where you're going. Learn more at GeneralTire.com. General Tire, cruising with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out visionwheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
All right, welcome back here to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And you know what? I was talking about Christmas music. We're going to see if we can get my favorite Christmas song up and running here. It's there we go. See, we got Christmas on. Mele Kalikimaka, Bing Crosby. This is absolutely my favorite Christmas song, Hawaiian Christmas. So I have no idea why. No idea why we're doing this right now, but why not, right? It's Christmas. This is going to be the theme for the rest of the show. Just throwing it out there, guys. We are definitely going to be airing Mele Kalikimaka every single commercial break. No, probably not. But anyways, yes. For some odd reason, my daughter and I love that song. It's our favorite Christmas song. No freaking reason for it, but it is what it is. So Mele Kalikimaka, there you go. I put it out there. You guys learned a little bit about me today. Moving on now. Yes, moving on. This is, I guess, a Christmas edition of the show. But yeah, I was up in Minnesota for the snowbike qualifiers and X Games. And, it's funny. Everybody's traveling. It's weird because I travel right before Christmas and then, sometimes travel for Christmas. And, but there was some breaking news today coming out of travel. And we cover weird news on this show once in a while. I think when we look back, like at the history books, like 50 years from now, 2018 is going to be one of those years like nobody wants to talk about. Like, seriously, this was kind of a train wreck year. You can say what you want about, we had good things. We had as much bad come out as good. Like, I think the whole world's gone soft on us, and it's like everything's PC now, and, you're so worried. It's like everybody's walking around on eggshells. Well, like, this is the capper. If this is like the absolute last news story that comes out of 2018, it would like literally be spot on and sum up the whole year. So there's this lady trying to get on a Southwest Airlines flight yesterday, and I just saw it. I didn't get to read too much into it. She's trying to fly with her pet fish, and she got pissed off at the airline because the airline told her that she couldn't get on the plane with a fish. And she says, well, it was like her emotional support fish or something like that. And so anyways, they literally pulled her off and said, look, you can't fly with this pet fish. You can either stay here with the fish and miss this flight, and that'll give you some time to find something to do with the fish, and then we'll book you free of charge on a later flight. Or you can literally just dispose of the fish and fly this flight, whatever. Anyways, I guess, I don't know, the lady got pissed off, and I don't know. It's all over the news now, and I'm like seriously, like, what planet do you try and fly with a goldfish? Like, for real. And how is that emotionally supportive? Like, I can understand a dog. I kind of draw the line at a dog. Maybe there's some people that are cat people, but like these peacocks and stuff like that. Like, I mean, a goldfish, come on now. Like, and this is newsworthy, and we're going to put this lady all over the news because Southwest Airlines did. Southwest, like, seriously, good on you, man. I would offer to let her flush that thing in the toilet in the plane, those high-powered flush toilets. Like, this is just ridiculous that we got to this point, So I think that's a good sum up of 2018. Goldfish on airplanes. Like, really, we come to that point that this is like news. Like, we're really here. Like, seriously, let's look in the mirror heading into 2019 because I think we can all do better. Like 2018 was not a banner year for anyone. Like we can do better as a human race in 2019. I'm just putting it out there. I know this is a motorsport show. Well, we're kind of a show that does whatever the heck we want to do. So, but yeah, like really, goldfish on airplanes, nah, not feeling it. Anyways, yes, this is a Christmas edition. Yes, I did fly. I didn't have a problem flying with a goldfish because I'm not stupid enough to try and take one on an airplane. But I did make my way to Minnesota for the X Games Snowbike Qualifier, and I got to tell you, it was an amazing event. I know Joe Duncan and I will talk about it more. It's actually a packed house. It's mid-30s the whole time. Some of you on the West Coast are like, man, that's cold. Like my Minnesota terms, especially for this event, that was rock solid. So a lot of people out there enjoying it. No wind, like weather beautiful. This track, though. You know how when you go to a Supercross race, it's absolutely beautiful, like groomed. Just you're like, wow, these are massive jumps. These guys are going to be hitting these. Man, this is like, I can't wait. I drove in to ERX Motor Park and I saw this track and it looked like a fully groomed Supercross snow bike track. Like I just went, wow, this is going to be epic. There's going to be some good racing, and it did not disappoint. But like I've been around this sport of snow bike racing since the beginning. Like I've been calling these races since the Ultimate Snowmobiler. What are we? 2018 now? 2014 maybe? 2014, 2013, 2014. I don't know. This is the first time I ever saw a snow bike. They've been around for a few years, but like the racing was kind of haggard. I mean, I don't want to say haggard, but it was uninteresting. I watched that and I'm like, why? No. Now I watch it and I'm like, yeah, this is rad. This is rad as hell. So the sport has come a long way. The tracks have come a long way. The riders and racers are getting so awesome. And I think the cool part about it is we got like this young up and coming crop of talent, that that is new. I think that's what's so rad about it is we have this upcoming talent that nobody knew about. They might be like local celebrities or something, but these guys have just been doing this, and they're 18, 19 years old and off the grid. They don't have a social media following, and now all of a sudden they're like the best in the world at this. And so like we are building these new celebrities and these new action sports icons like in front of us. And I know last year, one of the kids that impressed me was Cody Matichuk. And, he went on to have a great X Games. And, and then this year, I will tell you, there's a kid named William Van Hook III. And this kid, like, he's quick. Like, he was impressive. And the cars didn't fall just perfect for him this weekend. But, man, amazing talent. Like, and, these guys, like, I'm lucky I get to call these qualifiers. I get to see them before X Games, and I'm like, super talent here. Like, wow. And, and I guess that's what's kind of got me excited about the sport is, like, all this fresh breed of kids coming up that are so fast. And I got to tell you, there were a few ladies that were out there competing in the qualifiers trying to qualify in for X Games. Props to you ladies that were trying to do that. Like, mad respect there. Like, I think that is rad that the ladies are getting involved. And I think I give it I think at some point, obviously it's not going to be this year, but I think at some point, like X Games is going to put together, women's snow bike cross. And I think it's coming. You've got all these talented female riders. I mean, gosh, you imagine Jolene Van Vliet, Vicky Golden, Tara Geiger, Sarah Price. Like, could you imagine these girls like at X Games on snow bikes? Like, and they're all interested. Some of them gone out and done it. They just haven't had a chance. There's no real platform for them to do it. Like, I can see this happening in front of us, and that has me totally excited. So, it was an amazing event there, and ERX Motor Park. Like, if you've never been there, it's just rad. We'll say we took the rental car around. It's a big facility. Took the rental car over to the short course track there, the Lucas Oil Midwest Short Course League track there at ERX Motor Park, and did some hot laps in the rental car around the short course track and up on Talladega Turn, like up around the concrete barricade at the top, and like I did the catch fence. I got to say, like, I had no fun there at ERX Motor Park. No fun whatsoever. Seriously, though, good times had by all. And thanks to Snowbike Cross and ERX Motor Park for all the hospitality, X Games, and everybody for having me out. I can't wait for X Games this year just to see this talented group of riders come out. And big props to my boy Darren Meese. We're going to have him on at some point in the future. He took the second win of the qualifiers there, and he stamped his ticket to X Games. So big props to my boy Darren Meese. And, so before we go to the break, though, got to tell you about our friends there at GoParts.com. And if you are driving to town for your auto parts, you're doing it all wrong. I am going to GoParts.com and saving a ton of money, and believe me, I go through a lot of auto parts. Now, you know what? You're going, Jimmy, nobody wants to buy parts online, right? Their customer service got to be awful. Well, I'm telling you, I had the same concerns you do, then I use them, and I'm telling you, their service is second to none. Literally, amazing service. So when you're looking to buy parts, I'm telling you, you go to GoParts.com. That's go-parts.com/Jim Beaver. And if you do that, you're going to get a nice little discount. You know what? They've been doing this for over a decade, so you know that they know what they're doing. They've been, in the internet, you're around that long, you're on point, let me tell you. So go to GoParts.com. That's go-parts.com and use a /Jim Beaver. It's also available at downanddirtyshow.com. GoParts.com/Jim Beaver. You're going to get your discount, and you are going to be stoked on the parts showing up direct to your door. Go Parts. This is why we wrench. And we will be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, special Christmas edition. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty Radio Show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Anywhere is possible. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire's wide variety of tires for whatever it is that you drive. Whether you're looking for off-road capability balanced with impressive on-road performance, or ultra-high performance offering all-season traction designed with a driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has what you need to get where you're going. General Tire, providing anywhere is possible with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Told you some more Mele Kalikimaka today. I don't know why.
Is a thing.
You know you guys are all going to download this now. Oh my gosh, love me some Mele Kalikimaka. Anyways, back to the show. We'll just delete that. I told you we're going to just slide those Mele Kalikimaka plugs in there all day long. I think I only like it because the word, right? It makes me feel like I can actually speak Hawaiian or something. It's like the only thing I can actually say, and it just kind of rolls right off the tongue. Anyways, I am full on geeking out right now, and thank you guys for bearing with me if you're still here through whatever the heck we have called the start of this show. But yeah, it was a fun weekend there in Minnesota. At the snowbike qualifiers. Actually, some big news coming out of the world of off-road, though. I know we had, snow rage at the river. That's a big one this past weekend. But I guess, kicking things off right at the start of the year, we've got Supercross, which is big. We've got some massive Supercross news to talk about here. And then we've got the Parker 250, and then followed by Parker 425 and stuff like that. So, lots of big news out of the world of dirt sports, and off-road and Supercross, come out swinging like literally week one right in the new year. But Supercross had some big news drop this last week. So, it's been SX on Fox. Use hashtag SX on Fox, Supercross on Fox, and they've killed it, man. They've done an amazing job, right? Well, Supercross jumping ship this year. That is right. NBC Sports Group and Feld Motorsports. Feld, they have not only Supercross, they've got Monster Jam. They've also got Disney on Ice and Ringling Brothers Circus. I don't know. Feld is a massive company. It's not just Supercross. They've got a ton of stuff. Anyways, they've inked a deal with NBC Sports Group, multi-year deal that is going to have Monster Energy Supercross and Monster Jam on television on NBC Sports beginning in 2019. So I guess the good news is, so all Supercross heats, LCQs, main events will air on NBC, NBC Sports, NBCSports.com, and the app, and NBC Sports Gold. It's a direct-to-consumer live streaming product. So the cool thing about this is, honestly, I know on my TV, NBC Sports and Fox Sports, they're right next to each other. So if you had one, you had the other. You just literally, instead of channel 220, you're going to be on 222 or something. It's no big deal, right? NBC Sports, they know their motorsports. I think that's rad. Not to say Fox doesn't, but I'm sure this was a big deal to get this inked, because Supercross's TV ratings are bananas. I mean, I know people, and I don't know if you're like me, but Saturday nights, in the wintertime, we, especially in Arizona when the weather's good, we sit around and we have a barbecue. It's invite a dozen people over, you barbecue, you sit around and you watch Supercross. It's a deal, you would do with an MMA fight, but we do it with Supercross. So that's literally kind of part of my winter thing, is sit around and watch Supercross and barbecue with friends, and we'll alternate houses and things like that. So, so I don't think that's going to change. But the big thing is that live streaming, because in the past, if you weren't watching Fox Sports, you couldn't watch Supercross. Live streaming stunk. Just putting it out there, it kind of sucked. And so now you're going to have that whole live streaming, and I think that's going to be amazing, because, with smart TVs and iPads and things like that, and cutting the cord, I can tell you I've considered cutting the cord for quite some time. Never did it, mainly because there's a few things like Supercross that I knew I wouldn't be able to get and I'd miss out on. So now it's hey, maybe we really can consider cutting the cord, right? I don't know, but it's some big news. Not only that, but Monster Jam's thrown in there as well. I guess they're going to have 26 Monster Jam events, and I don't know, those are those ones the arena events. I can't even figure out the points for Monster Jam or anything like that. It's all made for TV, shenanigans. I don't know, is the points championship really count? I know the Monster Jam World Final is a big deal, for them, and it's a rad event, but I don't know, everything's on a delay. Monster trucks are one of those things, it's one of those, it's kind of like Rob Dyrdek's ridiculousness. And, where you're flipping through and nothing's on and you see ridiculousness, you can stop and know, hey, I've got 30 minutes here where it's going to be entertaining. Doesn't matter if I've seen this episode before. it doesn't matter if it's 3 years old. Like, it's still good TV, right? It's just quality content, and you'll sit there and watch it. And it's funny. You'll laugh and then move on. So you don't necessarily have to watch it live. Monster Jam is very much in the same. Like, I put it in that category. It's evergreen content, right? It's evergreen. Like, monster trucks flipping and jumping and doing backflips, it's relevant anytime. Like, if I'm flipping through on a weekend and there's no football and there's no IndyCar and there's no off-road or whatever, and Monster Jam's on, like, I'll park there for 15, 20 minutes and watch it. It's evergreen, right? Backflipping monster trucks, doesn't matter if it happened a year ago, it's still fun to watch. So I feel like Monster Jam's evergreen, and it doesn't really matter what channel it's on, as long as it's not on channel like 756 that's like out of the wheelhouse that nobody ever goes up there to, where like 5 people watch that channel. As long as it's one of the, I guess in the 200s on DirecTV, I call it, or a basic cable, I don't know where it would be at, but like I think, I think there's still, a market for it. So. I don't know. That was a big deal out of Supercross. So if you're looking to tune into A1, make sure and check your channel because it's going to be NBC Sports and not Fox. So I guess that SX on Fox, I know it's going to be like SX on NBC. I don't know. We're going to have to retrain ourselves for that. So other big news coming out of motorsports. I know we are actually talking motorsports today. Who would have thought? On this show, Motorsports Show, we're actually talking racing, man, and it's like in the first 30 minutes of the show. Hell's freezing over right now. So Mid 400, I know when we announced last week they were going to a 2-day format, racing on Saturday and Sunday. So it's like contingency Thursday, Friday, racing Saturday, Sunday. Man, if you got contingency Thursday and then you don't race till Sunday, like I don't know, it's kind of crazy. This Mint 400 stuff's getting long. So it means you don't go home till Monday. I don't know. It's kind of bananas. Anyways, that's all happening. Mint 400, and that's all good. But they did announce in the past, there's always been an entry cap. And with the entry cap for the Mint 400, it has meant that a lot of drivers, who don't get in early, they miss out. And a lot of points guys, that race Parker and things like that, they wait until after that to see if their car's blowing up before they enter the Mint. Well, you can't do that. You got to pay in full in advance. So they have actually put together a deal where if you enter the Parker 250 or the Parker 425, you are automatically you get first come first serve to enter the Mint 400 prior to everyone else, and then there's like a regular start date. I think it's the 4th of January where you can go in and actually enter the Mint 400 if you're not pre-entered in the 425 or 250. But I think it's rad that points racers and guys that are running the first best in the desert events of the year, they have preferential treatment to run the Mint 400. I think that is rad. So props to Martelli's for making that happen. I think it solves a lot of problems. And I know a lot of people are like, well, why don't you just pre-enter and then withdraw? Well, not going to happen. I guess you got to pay in full for the 425 or the 250. And, so there's something like that going on. So I'm sure there's going to be one or two people try and game the system, but I think this is going to solve a lot of problems for sure. So props to Martelli's on that. I think the big thing is a lot of people are like, oh, the trophy trucks are going to run King of the Hammers and they're not going to run the 425, but now they're going to have to enter the 425 and whatever. I don't know. Like, I don't have a problem with it. Like, it's just is what it is. If you're a trophy truck guy, you can afford the enter the one. And I don't know. It's just a lot of the guys have 2 trucks. Like, I don't see it being that big of an issue. And Mint 400, I'm sure, will work in special circumstances with certain people. But that being said, like, if you want to run the Mint 400 and you're entering that KOH, you're not doing the 425, just January 4th, you know it's coming. Boom, be on the internet and smack dab right there. Enter. It's like you just be one of the first. Don't wait until February to try and enter the Mint. So I don't know, easy solution there. So, that is some big news there though. And it's actually caused quite a stir in the off-road community. So we definitely thought we would, bring that up. Also big news, Zane Smith, his dad, Mike Smith, he runs the Herps shop. He's been running the ARCA the past couple of years, part of the NASCAR Next program. Just breaking news today, one of, the off-road familia there, Mr. Zane Smith, he is going to be going Xfinity racing with Junior Motorsports, so teaming up with Dale Earnhardt Jr. For 2019 in Xfinity. That's massive news, massive news. So big shout out to my boy Zane Smith. We're gonna have to get him on air after the first of the year and do some interviews with him for sure. So before we go to a break, we're going to be watching Ken Block's Gymkhana 10 live next. I want to tell you, a lot of us are traveling for Christmas, I got the solution for, your traveling blues, right? It's my friends there at Audible. That is right. Audiobooks are, they're a great sidekick for traveling, during the holidays and, when you're road tripping to the family and, enjoying your downtime. Listening is a better way to binge your content while doing the things you love. And Audible has the largest selection of audiobooks on the planet, which lets you fill your winter with all kinds of books, man. I am currently listening to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s new book there on Audible, and amazing, because it's like I don't have time to sit down and read, but when I'm traveling, boom, I can listen. So, Audible helps you listen to books by letting you switch seamlessly between devices exactly where you left off. So whether you're on your phone, through your car, your tablet, at home on Amazon Echo, you can get a ton of books hands-free while doing almost anything that you want. Audible members get a credit every month, good for any audiobook in our store, regardless of price, and unused credits roll right over into the next month, so, you're not going to miss them. Plus, the books are yours to keep. With Audible, you can go back re-listen anytime. So you can start a 30-day free trial and get a free audiobook just going to audible.com/downanddirty. That's audible.com/downanddirty, and you're going to get a free audiobook and a free 30-day trial. You can do it anytime you want, and also if you text to number 500, just Down and Dirty, text Down and Dirty to 500, they will send you the URL code. You can click it, boom, bam, done. So go to audible.com/downanddirty or text Down and Dirty to 500, get your 30-day free trial and free audiobook. And we will be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
Extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow @PolarisRazor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Hey, this is Jim Beaver, host of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Getting down and dirty on the racetrack is all fun and games until it's time to get the dirt off. I know it all too well, which is why I've partnered with MotoShield Pro, the leaders in nanotechnology solutions on the racetrack and in off-road to combat mud and dirt buildup on my vehicles. MotoShield Pro keeps us from taking unnecessary damage and spending extra energy on cleaning. No matter the weather or the surface, having proper protection on all my vehicles saves me plenty of reprep time in a sport where every second counts. Prep your vehicle like a pro. Learn more at MotoShieldPro.com.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. All killer and no filler.
All right, welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. No Mele Kalikimaka this go around because Ken Block dropped Gymkhana 10, which I'm going to do a live watch of. I'm going to give you guys about 20 seconds right now. If you want to listen in or listen to this commentary, go to YouTube, punch in Ken Block's Gymkhana 10 Ultimate Tire Slaying Tour. We can watch this thing together. I haven't watched this video yet. I've been holding off on it, and we're going to watch it together. I'm going to give you commentary. So this thing's 19 minutes long, and we only have like a 15-minute segment. So, yeah, it's... I'm not going to get to watch it all. We may have to fast forward through a few parts. But, yeah, head over there now. I'll give you about 10 seconds. We're going to watch this thing, and I'm going to give you my commentary on Mr. Block's latest video. We've watched all of them, good of them, chunk of them. All right, you guys there? All right, I'm telling you what, we are going to hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. All right. So it shows my boy KB just kind of walking out. Starting his tire slayer with his phone. So honestly, I know a little bit, like he's in a bunch of different vehicles this one, driving 5 tire slaying machines. I purposely kind of not been keeping in the loop so I can just strictly like give you my first commentary on it. So it's just showing all the different vehicles now: Hunicorn, Hunitruck, Hunicorn, 65 Mustang twin turbo, WRC Fiesta, the Kazi, his vintage 91 Cosworth, the RSRX, the 2017 Focus, and introducing the Hunitruck. So he's just kind of burning things off, Ford, and a bunch of other stuff. All right, we're going to fast forward through all these promos here. Sorry guys if you were trying to tune in, but like too much advertising here. We need to get to the video. All right, so now we're on the ice here, and it's actually pretty rad. So he's on the ice, just got this car pinned, his WRC car, and he was basically being tied down to a stake in the middle of the ice. Now he's just shredding this WRC car in the middle of, I believe it said Sweden. Looks like he's got a bunch of ice houses now. Just zigging and zagging through... It's actually like this rotating thing in the middle of this. It's going around a fire barrel on this thing that rotates. Kind of crazy. Got some snowmen. I kind of don't know quite what just happened, but yeah, like I don't know what that was that he was just sliding around, but it was really, really rad. So there's Ken just sliding, jumping, zigging, zagging, going under a bridge. So we're still in the snow here, and he's in his WRC car, by the way. I guess we're, 2 minutes into this 19-minute video. He's doing jumps and stuff like that. Kind of rad. So now we got somebody walking to the hot springs here of some sort, doing a cannonball. I don't know if it's a hot spring or not, but it's water. No, it is not a hot spring. It is ice. Somebody's freezing their arse off. Oliver Solberg, Peter Solberg's son. Yeah, that is going to be cold in that water right now. So they're doing kind of like some tandem drifts, Solberg and Block, around this like weird pool in the middle of the ice. Like, I don't know, these locations. That's the thing about Gymkhana. The locations that Block brings to the table are insane. Like, you get to see stuff you would never see elsewise. I think that's what's so rad about it, because you never ever know what to expect. Where are they going to go next? And like, Ken's kind of pigeonholed himself into where they've got to keep upping the ante, right? It's like, after this, 5 locations, 5 different cars. How do you top this, I don't know. They've done like downtown, whatever. What, New York City's about the major city they haven't done, or Paris? Like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. So now he's just sliding around out through the snow. Got like a big crane-ish thing. Like, looks like some kind of piece of crazy contracting equipment. Sliding his car around. There's like an ice block wall. He's like sliding around this big like crane, like bucket. Still in the WRC car, by the way. We still got like 4 more cars to go. It's like he filmed like 4 videos into one here. Like I said, this is like a 19-minute video. We're not going to get to everything. It's kind of gnarly to even think about that. Like to be honest with you, I said, all right, we're going to live watch this video. And then I was told, hey, you can't live watch it in a segment. I'm like, what are you talking about? Normally they're like 8-9 minutes. And they're like, no, this thing's like 20 minutes long. Whoa, what? It's like a TV show. So, yeah, all right. So now KB is in Detroit. He is in Hoonicorn. Not Hoona Truck, Hoonicorn. This is the Mustang. I've actually sat in this car. It's rad as hell. Just sliding around. Got the cops there. Kind of got streets blocked off. Downtown Detroit. Motor City. Down around some of the old vintage, like abandoned type buildings, and just sliding around. And I think that's what's rad. Doesn't everybody just want to drive their car around like an abandoned city? Like Ken gets to... He gets to do, like, the dream job, right? Like, and he won't even argue with you. Like, you say that's a dream job. He's like, yeah. Yes, it is. He'll own it. The thing, too, is like, Ken is so good in his placement on, like, all these turns and things like that. I don't think he gets enough credit. This guy's got insane car control. Like, seriously, insane car control. Got somebody on a Segway kind of redoing one of the first Gymkhanas, just kind of slowly driving the Segway around. The guy's got a gas mask on, mainly because of the fuel that Hoonicorn runs. Like, you don't want to be inhaling that. That's why Ken's got a special helmet for it, too. It's a rad aerial shot there of Ken just spinning around the Segway. It's all right. He's done with the Segway now. He's just going through the streets, pounding gears in the Hoonicorn. It's just crazy how long this video is. Like, props to the boys at Hoonigan. Like, seriously, props to boys at Hoonigan for putting this together. Like, this is insane. I can't say boys at Hoonigan. I know Ashley's over there as well. But, like, this is just, this is crazy. Bananas. So Ken now just bombing through tunnels. Downshifting, grabbing the handbrake. Just slide around through downtown Detroit. Some of the iconic spots there. Statue there in the middle of downtown. Shifting gears. Like, I always love those, like the inside, like the pedal box shots and stuff like that. So, those of you like driving around listening to this, you're probably like, what the hell is he talking about? I'm just giving you commentary of what I'm seeing. You're going to have to go back and like listen to this as you, you're going to have to go back and listen to this like as you can on your phone, like when you can watch it and listen to my commentary, see if we see things the same way. Now that's bad. That right there, that is like a reverse 180 entry, like hairpin corner, like reverse entry. That is my favorite shot right there of any Gymkhana we've ever seen. After 10 Gymkhanas, my favorite shot right there. Reverse entry around a hairpin. Ken, you nailed it, dude. Favorite shot ever so far in a Gymkhana. Reverse entry. There's very few people who can do a reverse entry right. Ken just nailed it. Like, nailed it. KB, dude, like, impressed. So, yeah, I'm going to have to text him over that. So now we're in Mexico in Rallycross car. Hoonicorn's parked. What are we on, third car now? Yeah, Rallycross car. Yeah, because we still got Kazi and we still got Hoona Truck to go. So we are in Rallycross car now in Mexico. Going through tunnels. I guess this is called the Ultimate Tire Slaying Tour. All right, so now he's jumping out of a tunnel, down over a bridge, like into another tunnel. That's a rad shot, like pretty rad shot. Nothing like the reverse entry, though. Man, that is tight. He's whipping around through the streets there in Mexico. Super tight. Like, that's what is crazy. And I'll give BJ Baldwin credit for that, too. Ken does it. But, like, there's some of these really tight things. You don't understand how much precision it takes to slide a car in those tight quarters like that. And BJ to do it like his trucks when he does it. Like, I've slid in trophy trucks around, man. These things are big, like, mush buckets. Hard to do, but BJ does it well. But Ken, in these, like, super tight confines, insane what he's able to do. That's a crazy shot there. Literally a bunch of mopeds lined up, and Ken, like, literally slides right around them and almost clips them all, but doesn't. Precision right there. Precision. And you can tell, like, that was a first take, and he didn't screw it up. It's not like he went through the rack of mopeds and then, and they had to buy a bunch of new ones or something. Like, guy's a talented driver. I don't think people give Ken credit that he deserves. All right, so now he's sliding around, and there's a jump. Like, they just randomly put a wooden jump there, and he's like jumping the car crossed up sideways. I don't know what you call that. Like, I don't know. All right, so now we are jumping into Los Angeles in the Kazi, I believe. We're out of Mexico. Kazi time, all right. I like that Ken's got his vintage helmet on. Vintage open-face helmet. He's got the Kazi in a warehouse, and he's just zipping around like these poles and stuff like that. See if he gets out of the warehouse at some point, or if it's all just going to be shot in a warehouse. Like, this could be rad. Like, there's all kinds of poles and stuff and pillars, and he's just zipping around, like, winding his way through. Whoa, he just jumped like this. Okay, like, there's a gap between loading docks, like a massive gap. And he jumped the gap in the Kazi. Like, that was a rad shot there. All right, so now he is out of the warehouses, into the streets. I don't know if he's in the streets yet, but he's just zipping around like these parking lots and stuff like that. I guess they haven't. See, I'm looking to see, like, hey, where are we at where he's going to have to more wooden jumps and stuff like that. He's around this trucking yard is where he's at now. I'm just looking where they're going to have to block off streets or something like that, but we haven't got to that point yet. Where are we at? We're at 46 minutes, and when are we going to have to take a short break here? I guess the 48-minute mark. We've got a couple minutes left to get through Kazi. I don't know if we're going to get to Huna Truck or not. We may have to... now we got Rob Dyrdek. Oh, I knew this was coming because he was on Ridiculousness. So Dyrdek's in this little like go-kart, and Block's just like sliding around Dyrdek. Longtime friends. Rob's just looking full-on geek in this helmet, and he's just burning the tires off of this go-kart. It's quite funny, actually. It's like a mini Ken Block car there. It's kind of rad. Now he's in Huna Truck. All right, we are in Huna Truck. Finally made it to Huna Truck, as we're going to have to take a break here in a minute, commercial break. But, yeah, where are we at? We're at 48 minutes. Got about 30 seconds left. Route 66, Shamrock, Texas. All right, we're going to get a little bit of Huna Truck here. I'm going to fast forward through this because we don't have time. He's just sliding around this old Texas town. I want to get this Shamrock thing, though, that they're talking about. All right, so we're just fast forwarding through Huna Truck here. Sorry about that. All right, here's the Shamrock. We got like 20 seconds to call what we're going to see. So they made this whole obstacle course out of these vintage cars, or like broken down cars, Shamrock. All right, so he's just zipping around in the truck, which his truck is so rad. So it's just literally like a pinwheel, and he's just circling it. So, all right, I'm getting word we got to take a commercial break here. So we are going to pause Mr. KB's video. Yep, muting it. All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
You want extreme performance? performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for. No fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners and for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3 from General Tire. Make your anywhere possible by visiting GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressive styling with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out visionwheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
All right, welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, the Christmas edition. Just getting done watching Ken Block's Gymkhana 10, doing a live watch of that. We had to cut it a little bit short by a couple of minutes. Didn't have enough time to fit it all in to the segment. But rad video. Obviously, we've been covering the series on the website, his Amazon Prime series, the Gymkhana Files. But Gymkhana 10, you may have seen it there, but now it's up on YouTube. It's already 1.4 million views after 24 hours, I think. The cool thing about that is like 1.4 million views in 24 hours, but it's been out on Amazon for a while, so it's still insane numbers that they're doing for Gymkhana. This one it'll go viral just like all of them. So awesome, watching that and doing that. A little bit about me, though. Obviously, you guys are listening to this show. We're going to take the next 2 weeks off for the holidays, but my other show, Project Action, will be dropping episodes. So you definitely want to tune in for Project Action there on Podcast One. Go and subscribe to that. Make sure you subscribe to us here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show on social media as well. Well, not just on social media, but on iTunes. Man, losing train of thought there. Definitely supports us. It helps us. And anybody that subscribes over there, leave a rating or review. It's much appreciated. And if you leave your Twitter, Instagram username in the body of the review, I will follow you back on social media. So please go and subscribe to the Down and Dirty Radio Show over there on iTunes. Much appreciated. So we are going to take a short break. And when we come back, kicking off hour number 2 here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by, that's right, Polaris RZR.
You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
All right, welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, kicking off hour number 2 of our Christmas edition. We didn't get the Mele Kaliki Maka in this time. We'll have to do that in the next segment. I'm just going to keep sliding that in there. I'm going to force it on you guys. You're going to become fans of that song before the end of the show, one way or another. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Coming up this hour, we got some bench racing going on with my friend Chris Leone, who also manages the Down and Dirty Radio Show website. If you haven't been already, go and check that out, downanddirtyshow.com. Chris does a phenomenal job there on the website. So, we are going to have Chris on. We're going to be bench racing, talking about some of our favorite moments of 2018, what to look forward to in 2019, all kinds of storylines and just a whole lot of stuff going on in the world of motorsports. So looking forward to having him on, and catching up for a couple of segments. And then I've got my good friend Joe Duncan. You know him, he's been with Terracross before, Snowbike Cross, X Games, used to be with the Snow Cross Championship. Joe's been around the industry for a long time. Fun to have him on, and we're just going to bench race snow bikes and, what happened this past weekend there in Minnesota. So should be fun to have Joe on the show as well. So lots to look forward to, in this episode of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. So yes, thank you guys for tuning in. If you got questions, hit me up. It's at JimBeaver15. Chris and I will be able to answer them the next 2 segments, I guess. Next 20-ish minutes. Next 20-ish minutes. Looking forward to that, and I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to Supercross. I haven't really. It's kind of crazy. This has crept up on me. I'm like, we're literally 2.5 weeks from the start of Supercross season. We really haven't touched base on it much at all this year, and I don't know. Just 2019 just all in general has snuck up on me. I feel like we were just at Vegas to Reno in 2018 and in the summer and this fall. I don't know where the hell it went, but this fall has just been gone. Lickety split, zip, gone. Boom, bow, done. Wow. I don't know where the hell it went, but it went somewhere. And definitely, I don't know if I was even a part of it. Anyways, we got lots of fun to come here in hour number 2. So hit me up with those questions at JimBeaver15. We'll try and get them answered. I would disclaim if you got anything for Joe Duncan. We recorded that segment earlier today. He's busy today, so that one we won't be able to ask Joe questions. But lots of questions if you've got them for Chris Leone at JimBeaver15. And we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it will be my good friend Chris Leone on the line here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, special Christmas edition.
I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty Radio Show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our RZR vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Whether you're looking for a tire that balances high-performance responsiveness and traction in wet and light snow conditions, excellent handling and traction in wet and dry conditions, or a summer performance tire designed with the driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has you covered. From the all-new G-Max RS to the Grabber ATX, no matter what you drive, General Tire will get you where you're going. Learn more at GeneralTire.com. General Tire, cruising with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
All right, welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR Christmas Edition. Yeah, I didn't sneak that Mele Kalikimake in this go-around. Maybe you get lucky in the next segment. But, yeah, Chris Leone going to be calling in a minute. Before we get to that, I do have to tell you about, once again, our good friends there at Audible. You know, and a lot of us are traveling for the holidays, Christmas travel. This also makes a great Christmas gift. But you know what? Audiobooks, they're a great kick for any winter activity, whether you're traveling, road tripping, or just hanging out, enjoying the family and the holidays. You know, and listening is a better way to binge the content you love while doing the things you love. Audible has the largest selection of audiobooks on the planet, and they'll let you fill your winter with amazing content. So I do have to say, my friends at Audible, they're giving you guys a big bonus. If you start a 30-day trial of Audible today, and you'll get your first audiobook for free. But the kicker is you've got to go to our special website. It's audible.com/downanddirty. That's audible.com/downanddirty. Or just text down and dirty, the words down and dirty, to 500-500, and they are going to send you a link where you can start your 30-day free trial and get your first audiobook for free. You can do it with audiobooks, so it's audible.com/downanddirty, or text to 500-500, just the words down and dirty. All right, we are got my good friend Chris Leone now on the line, who I know is using that code audible.com/downanddirty to get his free Audible content, right?
Oh, you better believe it, Jim. I mean, I am just like you. With traveling, that's about the only way that I'm really able to, be able to consume books is by listening to them rather than reading them. So Audible is the perfect service for me.
Yeah, well, and you know what is funny? Because this is truth now. This isn't like me throwing the promo code out there, but it's funny how, things have shifted, right? And, just in the world, where people used to sit down, they would fly or they would do something, the only thing they had to do was take a magazine or a book. That was literally the only thing you could do on an airplane. And now, Like, it's like, yeah, we're like, oh, the only way we can actually read is if we are on an, read is if we have Audible, or, like, to me, it's weird that we've had this massive shift. And I know, like, when I'm at home, I don't watch much TV. It's like, literally, I get caught up on that when I'm traveling. Like, it's just so weird that culture, not only in this country, but just globally, like in the world, has shifted so much, you know what I mean, to like this portable, like, entertainment, that it's just so funny to me that, like, everything has shifted. Just, I don't know, just weird segue into your segment. I don't know where I went, but I was down the rabbit hole and we just went with it.
No, absolutely. But I mean, like, driving, I mean, obviously you can't really do anything else while driving. I fear the person who tries to drive a car while reading. But the person who is listening to an audiobook while driving, you're able to do two things at once. You get to wherever you need to go safely. I working with you and working in racing, obviously I am not a big fan of the self-driving car prospect, because I think that kind of eliminates our industry a little bit. So I am very anti-self-driving car, but, being able to hear a book, I know you've talked about the Dale Jr. book a little bit, and I have been, really looking forward to trying to get to that. It's been such a crazy year, and obviously we've had so much going on, whether it's been recapping all these racing series or planning a pretty robust 2019 season. I mean, I know we haven't shared everything that's going on next year, but I'm just excited to be along for the ride. Yeah,
well, and speaking of Dale Jr., I think that's a good segue into our next segment. I read his book he wrote when he was a rookie that was about him, and then I've got, I'm in the middle of this one now. Hopefully I'll get that thing finished up over the holidays. But just Dale Earnhardt Jr., like, I don't know if you got a chance to listen to his interview he did on Joe Rogan, but talking about his career and, and the concussion issues that he went through. I mean, we're talking serious concussion issues. And he just kind of bowed out, he's like, I think there's more to life than, he's like, I just didn't want to. And you and I have a very close friend that passed away. A lot of it was because of concussion issues, but I kind of applaud him for that. But I look at Dale Earnhardt Jr. and what he's built, and he was a phenomenal NASCAR racer. Now, granted, he didn't get that, that championship, but he won a lot of races. You knew when he was in his prime, he was a top 5, top 10 guy. Nobody's going to argue the talent there, but I'm looking at him, and he's got Junior Motorsports. They just signed a good friend of mine, Zane Smith. He came out of off-road in NASCAR Next program, but so he's got Junior Motorsports, but now he's got an entire media company. He's doing TV. He's got his own podcast network. Like, I'm looking at Dale Earnhardt Jr. and going, he's still young, Chris. I mean, I don't know his age, but he's got to be, low 40s, like young 40s. But I think he can have a bigger career now in quote-unquote retirement from NASCAR as a driver than he actually did as a driver in NASCAR. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, and, the amazing part of that is you think about just how massively popular he was and how important Dale Jr. was to the sport during, his career, particularly in the Cup Series. But no, you're absolutely right. And, I mean, you do have those guys sometimes who are able to transition out of sports and just have an even larger career away from them.
Michael Andretti, let's talk about him. The same thing. He was just like Earnhardt Jr. He was at the top of his game, never won an Indy 500, but, he'd done everything else. He retired, and now, I mean, do we even think about his career behind the wheel? No, we talk about how amazing of a team owner he is.
Oh, for sure. And don't forget, I mean, Jeff Gordon almost took over for Regis Philbin on daytime TV. Like, some of these guys are just able to, I mean, they gave it to Michael Strahan, so they still did it with a sports guy. So, I mean, there you go, Strahan. I mean, we're both football guys.
Yeah.
I mean, me as a Patriots fan, I'm not looking forward to the inevitable when Rob Gronkowski does it, because it'll probably be very soon. I mean, if even Rex Ryan is saying that Gronk is running with a piano on his back, quote unquote, then we all can see it. Sorry, not much of a Rex Ryan fan. I mean, we beat up on him, the Patriots for a number of years, so obviously don't hold him in the highest regard. But guys like that. I mean, it's amazing. We've got a lot of racers who are really able to make that transition if they want to, and I mean, and then there are some who, really want to keep it well within just the world of racing. I mean, you look at Tony Stewart. Tony is not that kind of guy like Dale Jr. where he's going to build this media empire. I mean, with everything that Tony does, it goes all into back into racing. You know, not only obviously owning Eldora, which he has turned into, you know, I think one of the most popular racetracks of any discipline in America, but also with the sprint car series that he owns, obviously with Stuart Haas. You know, it's a lot of these guys are really able to do that. Although it's very, you know, it's interesting to kind of look at what we've got now for competitors, and I don't know, you know, what it's going to look like 20 years from now. Some of these kids that have come up now, if any of them are really going to have that staying power. You know, they've really got to do a good job over the next decade or two, and I know that's a pretty broad scope of time to have to project. I mean, anything can happen at any point, but you know, it'll be interesting to see if any of these kids, you know, whether it's the folks who are in NASCAR Next or the ones who have made the Cup Series and started to catch people's attention, guys like Ryan Blaney, guys like Alex Bowman, guys like Chase Elliott, if they're able to captivate audience interest the same way that the Dale Juniors and Jeff Gordons and Tony Stewarts of the world did.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny because that leads me into my next question, and I'm looking and I'm like, I only have like a minute for it, but I guess I'll throw it out there and then we can talk about it in the next segment. But talking about the staying power, and I know that like now, and I've actually had this conversation, I've had people look at me like, wow, like I don't know if you're crazy or if you're just way forward thinking, but I'm kind of over investing in social media. Like it's there and it's going to grow organically and it's going to be what it's going to be. But I think at this point, everybody's got so many eggs in that social media basket. And I don't know that the staying power of social media is there. Is it going to be around? Yes, but problem is we don't have ownership of any of that. And it's like MySpace. There was people that heavily invested in MySpace and grew their MySpace following. And what did they end up with? Nothing, because the next thing came along. And you know, and we read the stories about Facebook, dude. They're a ticking time bomb. You know, they like literally legally. They're a ticking time bomb, you know, and there's people in that company that may serve prison time. So there goes the bottom out of Instagram and Facebook. And so I'm looking at things like that going, you know, like where, you know, but a lot of these young kids we talk about, you know, they're not building tangible assets. Like Dale Earnhardt Jr. built media tangible assets. Tony Stewart's got tangible assets he built. Greg Biffle invested in properties and he's got tangible assets. These kids, it's like, my media following's big. I got a big social media following. And like to me, like what do you actually have? You don't at the end of the day. Danica Patrick, she invested in wineries and businesses and things like that. And I think that's kind of one of the big things is a lot of these kids coming up, and we're not talking kids, I'm talking people in their 30s now. They haven't invested. They're invested into social media accounts and you know, and things like that don't really at the end of the day have any value, you know? It's only like I don't know.
Absolutely.
So we got to take a short break, but I will leave it at that. I think coming out of the next break, we'll let you chime in on it. But, yeah, we will be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show powered by Polaris Razor.
You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow @PolarisRazor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Hey, this is Jim Beaver, host of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Getting down and dirty on the racetrack is all fun and games until it's time to get the dirt off. I know it all too well, which is why I partnered with MotoShield Pro, the leaders in nanotechnology solutions on the racetrack and in off-road to combat mud and dirt buildup on my vehicles. MotoShield Pro keeps us from taking unnecessary damage and spending extra energy on cleaning. No matter the weather or the surface, having proper protection on all my vehicles saves me plenty of reprep time in a sport where every second counts. Prep your vehicle like a pro. Learn more at MotoShieldPro.com. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
All right, welcome back here to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And just because Chris hasn't got it yet, we're definitely going to play some Mele Kalikimaka. You knew this was coming, Chris.
You know, Jim, it's the funniest thing. I've got like 17 friggin' different instruments that I own. I've got everything but a ukulele. If I had known that you were doing this all day, then I would have woken up earlier, spent the 5 minutes to learn the song, and I would have played it in for you. But
well, that's earmark that for next Christmas. You got a year to plan, dude. I want Mele Kalikimaka by Chris Leone on the show in 1 year. That you have one job, Chris. Learn Mele Kalikimaka in a year.
Oh, okay. So instead of all of the comprehensive racing coverage we've been doing on downanddirtyshow.com, I have a year to just do this song. Just learn this song. Yeah. Just record this song. Play it in for you.
Well,
Got it.
You can make it interesting. Do the punk rock version. Do the punk rock version of Mele Kalikimaka or something. Because that's one thing I love about punk rock. Like they always have to do something. And so they had I've got an album that's like punk rock, like redoes Metallica or something like that. And it was rad. Actually, there was an album I learned about this weekend in Minnesota, and I'm a big Nightmare Before Christmas fan, the animated movie, and Marilyn Manson redid the theme song to that, and was insanely good. And I guess it's on YouTube. It's like literally insanely good. And I'm not a massive Manson fan, but he like nailed it. And I'm like, wow. So I just like covers. Something Chris Rock, punk rock, Mele Kalikimaka, dude. Just roll with it, Chris.
I mean, Bad Religion did a great album of Christmas covers as well a few years ago.
Really? How did I miss that one?
That I was listening to, yeah. It's really good. And I think they stuck a remix, or they stuck the Andy Wallace mix of American Jesus towards the end, so, way to undercut the entire theme of the album, but,
Bad Religion had to do something if they're doing a Christmas album. Like, you knew there had to be something done,
The biggest missed opportunity of my entire time at GRC was 2014 X Games Austin, when we overran our time slot and we missed Bad Religion, all of us. There was a great final, Bucky got the, one of the medals, so everybody was stoked for Bucky, but the entire mood throughout the paddock was just disappointment, because we all were Bad Religion fans, and we all missed Bad Religion because our race ran long. So, that's always been one of those bands that's up there for me, but I've always been a Blink-182 guy, as well. So I've got the old signature Fender Hoppus bass and the DeLong guitar from, before Tom went crazy and started chasing aliens and they brought Skiba in. But, I've got next year I've kind of got this audio room that I'm building, so I'll have to put that stuff to good use.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, I'm just getting sidetracked here because, like, I'm like, we can sit here and talk about music the whole time. But, yeah, I want to get back to talking about racing because, then the segment will be over. I'm like, oh, yeah, we didn't talk about racing at all. But so moving on, I know there's so many things we could talk about, like the past year, things like that. But I don't know if we'll even get a chance to talk about 2019. But, all right, so give me like one or two of your standout performances of 2018. Like, who came out of left field and you're just like, wow, like maybe you knew they were good, but like you didn't realize that good, or like, I mean, what are like one or two of your, like, just across motorsports in general, you just went, wow, like, I mean, who are you kind of your shockers or just came out of left field and were like, man, they had a dominant year?
Man, it's hard for me to really call anybody a shocker because I mean, when you're trying to follow a ton of different series, I mean, eventually you get a grasp on just how talented really everybody is. But I will say that my two standouts, I think, for the year just overall, and you can put one over the other whichever way you want, Alexander Rossi having a fantastic breakout year in IndyCar and then, going down to the Baja and making his debut there as well. But, I mean, Rossi did a terrific job, and obviously he's got great people behind him. We've got a lot of friends who support him, and he's really, really gone to the next level at IndyCar. But then my other one has been, following along SCORE. What Wayne Matlock did this year was just phenomenal. Being able to win the overall SCORE championship as a UTV driver, duking it out, going head-to-head with Rob Mack and beating Rob Mack, I mean, that's a phenomenal accomplishment. Yeah. I mean, you look at these trophy truck teams and their budgets, and we've talked so much about Menzies and, Bryce's new all-wheel drive truck and how much has been invested into that program and, what the future of that class is going to be. But to see somebody in a UTV, be able to take that, Polaris Razor to the top, I mean, that was a fantastic year for Wayne, and obviously Kristen as well with what she did at the Baja. I think it was the 500 where she was the overall winner and normally aspirated. I mean, that was probably the most impressive individual performance of the year of any of the series that I was following. I mean, that's really something to have to go up against all the turbos and be able to beat all of them.
Yeah. Well, and I guess there's a couple of standouts for me. Like, Rossi, I completely agree with Matlock. Rossi, I guess on the IndyCar front, I will say it's not a shocker to anybody, but I think it solidified him, and I'm going to go way out on a limb here, but Scott Dixon, I think this championship, not that it's not like he doesn't have wins in championships, I think it solidifies him, and I'm going to say it, one of the greatest race car drivers of all time. I really, truly believe that, and I think people in Formula One have noticed Scott. Now at this point, he's too old, but I think if he would have been in Formula One, you would see him as a multi-time world champion. Like, I honestly, truly believe, like, he is probably one of the greatest of all time to ever step behind or, get behind a steering wheel. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Scott is one of those guys who's just always been so strong, and, he's been talented for, he's always been a talented driver, but he's been doing it forever. And, there's never been a drop-off. There's never been any of the years where he's had bad years, it just seems like he's had bad equipment under him. Yeah. I mean,
and his bad years still aren't bad.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I forget how many years in a row that he's taken victories. I mean, and most of the struggle years that he's had with Ganassi were just because they had deals with whichever chassis or engine supplier was down at the time. The second that everybody got back to equal footing, those Dallara only, Honda only years that we had IndyCar, I mean, he was right back there. And the years that he's had since since Chevrolet coming in with him still being competitive, it's been amazing to see. It's definitely, he will go down as the greatest IndyCar driver of this era, I think.
Absolutely.
There are guys who can challenge him. I mean, it'll be interesting and it'll be fun to watch Rossi over the next few years. And, Newgarden's got his first title, and Will Power's always been consistent and been there, and there are a couple of other guys who I think will be able to, get their names in that conversation. But right now it's
Bourdais, I think. I mean, obviously, he did a lot of Champ Car before he made the switch to Formula One. I think Bourdais, super talented, and I think because he's been with Dale Coyne, and and no offense to Coyne, but it's not Ganassi, it's not Andretti, it's not Penske. I think people forget about how good he is and what he's actually accomplished.
Oh yeah, pound for pound, he is definitely up there. I mean, the last couple of years at Champ Car, unfortunately, weren't the strongest in terms of depth of field, which was a real bummer to me because I loved those. The Panos chassis that they ran in 07. Yeah. I thought those were beautiful machines, and I was bummed to see them go away after only 1 year and then, Long Beach in 08. But, yeah, I mean, Seb, what he accomplished with Newman Haas was absolutely fantastic. And, the things that he's done with Coyne, it was a bummer that his F1 career went the way it did. But, and speaking of F1, I mean, Lewis Hamilton winning yet another championship, I mean, I know we kind of take it for granted at this point because, I mean, what hasn't he won at this point? Yeah. But, Lewis's dominance is still, and, it's amazing. I know that all of us, as whether it's racing fans or sports fans in general, we all say that we hate dominance, but we all tune in to watch it. Maybe it's because we all hate it and we want to root against it and we want to see if somebody can take it down. But, dominant athletes are the kinds of folks that really do end up kind of driving ratings. And, I mean, you look at NASCAR now and there's kind of a question as to long-term who's really going to be at the top there because it seems like, Jimmy Johnson, the 48 team, like the run is kind of over now that, he's splitting with Chad Knaus and everything that's sort of going on there. And you've really got a wide open field in some ways, it seems like, because you've got 3 or 4 drivers who are pretty equally matched at the top. But, I've always felt like dominance really does drive viewership, and you do kind of need that. Yeah. You need somebody good to challenge them, otherwise it gets boring. Cop, rallycross. But,
Speaking of dominance, though, we only have like 45 seconds left. My second pick, and I'll just throw it out there, and I mean, we've talked about him before. We don't need to really dissect it. Steve Torrence and what he accomplished in NHRA Top Fuel. There has never been a dominating effort like Steve Torrence put out there.
Oh, man. 6 for 6 in the playoffs, that is unreal.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, and I was fortunate enough to meet Steve for the first time in New England, and, it just confirmed to me everything you had already told me about him. I mean, that he was there to win, and he was not there to take anything but yes for an answer on winning. I mean, he just kicked everybody's tails this year. I don't remember what the final win count was, but that's the kind of season I don't know if we'll ever see that again. No. Unless he does it. Yeah. Maybe he'll do it next year.
So, all right, Chris, we got to take a short break. We come back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. We got Joe Duncan.
You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out VisionWheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. All killer and no filler.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'd like to welcome my good friend and, the kingpin behind Snowbike Cross, Mr. Joe Duncan. How's everything going, Joe?
Things are great, Jim. Things are great. Just great to see you out here in beautiful Minnesota for the dual qualifier at ERX Motor Park. It was a big hit, and really nice to have some Minnesota 40-degree warm weather instead of what we had a couple of years ago, 34 below. So that was a pretty nice weekend, sunny, and boy, were those guys on the snow bikes flying.
Yeah, it was beautiful conditions. I know, like I said, I was there a couple years ago when we had that one. I mean, it was brutal out there. Like, I remember Ronnie Feist, I think, was out there, and he's looking at me like, what did I do and why am I here? You know, it was one of those. But this year, like everybody, I mean, I don't want to call it T-shirt weather, but it definitely wasn't parka weather or anything. It was, I don't know if you can ask for better conditions for a race.
For a winter race, it was absolutely perfect. And the guys at ERX just did an amazing job of track prep. And the nice thing was the 4-5 weeks before, it's been really cold. So we've had the most snow we've ever had, the best prep track, Ziegler Cat and the Cat equipment out there just helping dial that thing in. Just made for some great racing. And when you start with a great track, it just leads itself to, everything else for the event. So great sponsors, great vendors, big crowd. It was good, just downright good.
Yeah, it was a big crowd. I got to tell you, when I came in Saturday morning, rounded the corner there at ERX, I mean, I've seen that track there, a few different iterations from UTVs to, to snowmobiles to some previous snowbike tracks. When I rounded that corner and I saw the track, I was kind of blown away. Like, I went, wow, this is like full on. I mean, this is like proper supercross for snow bikes. I mean, that's got to be the most beautiful snow bike track I've ever seen. I mean, I think it even trumps the one that we saw at X Games. Like, it was just, I mean, it was spot on, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, again, you have the most snow. You had great conditions leading into it. We had the right equipment with the Cat equipment and the groomers out there, and yeah, just was on point. And then again, we had 4 days of practice leading up, so we were able to tweak the track throughout the week and really dial it in for snow bikes. And by doing it that way, it just kept up the momentum of the race. It kept up the speed of the competitors, and basically just put on a great show for the crowd, and was some great racing to invite some guys out to X Games.
Yeah, you know what I love about this too is it's still like, I think the first snowbike race I ever saw was when we were at the Ultimate Snowmobiler there in Crested Butte. I don't know, how long ago was that when you had me up there? 4 or 5 years ago at this point, I think.
Like five years ago, yeah.
Yeah, yep. But, that was the first time I ever saw snowbikes race, and I got to tell you, it wasn't that impressive. But now, fast forward, and I'm like, wow, this is, these guys are flying. Yeah,
I think it's a combination of better kits, better, more people riding them more often. And then again, coming down to the track builds. I mean, you look at some other forms of snow bike racing, and the tracks just are not desirable. Let's just put it that way. But you build a track for a snow bike, and this is the kind of competition, and this is the kind of show that you're able to get. And again, then this year at X Games, the track design that we've all laid out there for this year at X Games is going to be unbelievable. Top of our a course to the bottom of the course around the freestyle section. It is going to be pretty amazing out at X Games, and to have a great track like this leading into it really helps to set that standard for building the best tracks for snow bikes.
You know, and one thing I really appreciate about it is you know, like we said, this is kind of a sport still in its infancy. It's starting to get a foothold, and it's growing every year. But, you know, you've got the veterans. You got a guy like Darren Mees who went out and he won, you know, the second of the duels, stamped his ticket to X Games. But you got guys like Axel Hodges and Brett Turcotte. People have heard these names. They've been around. I know last year we had, you know, some celebrity riders come in. But then you've got like this new breed of these guys that nobody's ever heard of. Like, you know, what was it, Matichuk last year? Nobody knew who he was until X Games. This year, one of the guys that caught my eye was Van Hook. You know, and he was just flying out there, and he had some trouble in the first qualifier and things like that. But, you know, I'm looking at kids like this going, nobody's ever heard of them, but these kids are like the future of this sport, you know, and I think that's what's great is like, you know, you've got this chance to groom this whole new breed of, you know, action sports celebrity athlete, you know, and people have never heard of them yet.
Yeah, I think that's the cool thing is that we're building heroes. We're building superstars. Just think of all the names that we know because of X Games. Okay, these names are, you know, the Degans and the Feist and the, you know, all the different people that have come up through the X Games. That's what these guys are shooting for. That's why they want to be there, and that's why they've set their focus on snow bike cross as that tool to get them there, and then you be able to come out and be able to come to an event like this and show off your skills. That's kind of the ticket.
Yeah, I agree. So. Yeah, I mean, obviously we've got. I know there was already some riders that were pre-selected to go to X Games based on results, you know, previous results and things like that. So they didn't have to go to the qualifiers. There were some guys I know I talked with Turcotte who already had an invite, and you know, he was there just for the practice. He had some struggles throughout the weekend, you know, but he'll be solid. There's a guy like Mees who's always been fast. He qualified in, but now we've kind of got you know, a bit of the field set. I mean, what's you know, next couple of weeks? What are we, about a month out of X Games? I mean, for you and you know, these snow bike races, what's the next couple of weeks look like?
Yeah, we got about a month here. We got the last of the selections coming out. You know, we qualified 10 there, and then we had 2 wild card picks that came out of there, and then we used this event and we used other past X Games events as well as obviously celebrity status, and those guys get to you know, show us that they want to be there. And just like Turcotte did, he came down and attempted to qualify, and he's obviously one of our top names, double gold medalist from last year, and on a stock bike and a stock kit, you know, he looked pretty dang good. You know, look at some of those guys out there, like you said, Mees and Turcotte, and you know, the Van Hook team, and all of them out there on their timber sleds and that new timber sled kit, and they were fast. They were super fast. And again, a lot of these guys right now are on stock bikes, and now we'll start prepping their bikes for X Games and for the elevation, and you know, looking to get their motors hopped up and ready to go. And it'll be it's going to be some exciting racing at X Games this year.
Yeah, you know, and that's funny you mentioned about the, you know, the bikes and the kits. You know, I know originally the kits, it was just kind of a one-size-fits-all. You buy a kit and you do it. Now, like, you know, these guys are tailor-making them to tracks and things. I know even on the freestyle side, those guys are shortening them way up, you know, and, you know, which leads us into... What's that?
With the freestyle stuff, you know, it's kind of open because we got to make that smaller track. And with the Snowbike Cross, it is, it's a track that anybody can go out and buy at a dealership or through the race program and go out and race. There's not a lot of modifications to these kits. They're coming right from the factory. So that's why a guy like Axel Hodges can go out and buy a kit or get a kit, put on his bike, and he can go racing. So when his timber sled kit shows up, he's ready to go racing. He doesn't have to go ride for 2-3 weeks and try and, reinvent the wheel like you do in some forms of racing. You got to do a lot of modifications and a lot of changing. These guys are basically riding what the factories put out. So that just shows how good, these kits are and how good that these guys are on the racetrack with them. So we try and make it so anybody that shows up has a chance of being a winner and being able to be competitive without having to spend, their entire life on a snowbike kit. Because as soon as you start doing that, there's only going to be a few top guys. But if you have it where everybody's starting out on the same equipment, like a side-by-side sport we know and run, when you keep it so everybody is competitive from the equipment side, then it all comes back to the athlete and the athlete versus the athlete, not equipment versus equipment.
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, and, talking about the freestyle real quick, I was talking about Turcotte, and I know we want to talk about snowbike racing in its infancy, freestyle way in its infancy. But I know, last year kind of the flip was the big thing. Now, talking with Turcotte, he didn't really tell me too much, but I think these guys have been doing their homework, Joe. You got any predictions on what we might possibly see out of the freestyle side of things?
Well, I think you look at Adelberg, who took the gold last year and had a body varial. I think you're going to see some guys looking at that as an option, knowing how well he did, and maybe throwing some tricks in with that. And then you've got, you never know what a Jackson Strong is going to come with. Jacko, he's a creative. He built that first small, short track kit for the snow bike that he went out and just did all kinds of practicing and testing on. And now he's got his gears and brains getting after it. And then you got, guys like Kyle DeMello and Axel Hodges, and these guys are just like, what can I do with this? Where can I go with this? We have a new ramp that I think we all think the athletes and us think that's gonna make it that much bigger, that much better, that much smoother for them. And when we do that, that's going to open the door to bigger, better tricks and a better show at X Games.
Yeah, and that was one thing Turcotte said. He said that's the biggest change for everybody going into freestyle this year. Is he says the biggest problem with freestyle on a snow bike is it's actually getting to the ramp. And he's like, once you hit the ramp, everything's fine. And he says, we have a problem getting to the ramp.
True.
And he says, now they've solved it. And he's like, we're all excited. He's like, because he's like, it's just going to give a little more consistency, to the run up and what we're actually able to do. He's like, it's going to be the same every single time. He says, it was like Russian roulette in the past.
Yeah, kind of is.
So yeah, X Games on tap. I mean, what did we learn this weekend at Snowbike Cross that you think we're going to see at X Games, Joe?
I think there's going to be some fast guys. I think you look at those top 10, the 5 in each of the dual finals that qualified. Those guys are fast. That's just there's no question about it. And then you got some guys that probably had a little few issues because they had stock bikes and they didn't have all their tweaking down. This is the first time a lot of these guys were able to get on a track. So whether they came down for the 3 days before or they showed up on that Friday or Saturday morning, to get their lap times in, this is kind of the first time they've been on their bikes. So although they may have been really fast, they had some troubles or had a little hiccups here and there. But then you get those guys dialed in over the next month. A lot of these guys are going back out west and they're going riding. We have some guys that are staying right here at ERX and they're training for the next 3 weeks. They're there's 3 to 4 days at ERX of practice, and they're staying right here in Elk River, and they're riding every 3-4 days That's going to make a big difference for X. We didn't have that last year. We had the guys come in, they raced, they left, and that was kind of it. And some of the guys went out riding. But this year, there's a lot of guys that are riding and training, and they're focused on this. And I think that's going to make for one hell of a battle at X Games.
Well, and before we let you go, I do have to make one, we only got about 60 seconds left, but what about Monster Mike Schultz? Wins the adaptive, then he decides he's just going to go run pro snow bike cross and try and qualify into X and dual qualify in. Like, how rad was that, Joe?
Well, you never know what Mike's going to do. The guy's a Olympic gold medalist. He's a multi-time snowmobile gold medalist and a motocross gold medalist. I mean, whatever the guy puts his mind to, he's going to do. And then he gets out there and he's like, hey, my lap times are good enough. Can I go running, the pro class? And of course you can. He gets out there and he's running, right with those guys and beating some guys. And again, stock bite, stock kit. He had the Fox Shocks. They're helping him and Turcotte and a lot of the other riders to get these kits dialed in. Because again, a lot of these guys was the first time on them. So between Fox Shocks and Timbersled working with these guys and dialing Mike Schultz's, equipment in, he was right up there in the pack. And if he was, give him a couple more weeks at the track, and he's probably right in the mid to high pack of these guys. It's crazy. The guy's an animal.
Yeah, he is. He's Monster Mike, right?
Yeah, Monster Mike Schultz.
All right, Joe. Well, I appreciate the time today, my friend. Stay warm up there in Minnesota, and we will definitely chat soon.
Thanks, Jimmy. Talk to you soon, buddy.
And we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
Want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Whether you're looking for a tire that balances high performance responsiveness and traction in wet and light snow conditions, excellent handling and traction in wet and dry conditions, or a summer performance tire designed with the driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has you covered. From the all-new G-Max RS to the Grabber ATX, no matter what you drive, General Tire will get you where you're going. Learn more at GeneralTire.com. General Tire, cruising with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back here to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Just capping off a fun Christmas-filled one. A little Melakaliki Maka we've been playing so far. And, I don't know. It's been a fun one. But thank you guys for just another year supporting the show. Seriously, it means a lot. Hopefully you guys have a great holiday season, wherever that leads you. Don't forget, we will be doing some project action during the holiday, but won't have another Down and Dirty Radio Show till after the first of the year. So thank you guys for the continued support. Big shout out to all our partners, Polaris, General Tire, Subaru, Vision Wheel, Casey Allies, Gibson Exhaust, Dirtfish, Optimus, MotoShield Pro, Blue Water Resort and Casino, Go Parts. Don't forget, it's go-parts.com/Jim Beaver, and also audible.com/downanddirty. You can get some rad stuff from all of our partners. Follow me. I'd love to interact with you guys over the holidays at Jim Beaver 15 on all forms of social media. Subscribe to the shows. And our friends at Dirtfish have a big sale going on right now, not just a Christmas sale, but through the first of the year. It's like 20% off everything. So make sure and go over there, or you can use the coupon code JBDirtfish to ensure a discount. But Dirtfish got a lot of good stuff going on. But thank you guys for the continued support of the show. I can promise you we're back for another year in 2019. Hopefully you have an amazing holiday season. Don't forget, I'd love to interact with you over the holidays. Tag me in your photos. I'd like to see what you guys are up to if you're out shredding some razors in the desert or the dunes or whatever you got going. So have a great, safe holiday season, and we'll see you in 2019.